a little concern? No, there's not. So Politics goes in. The stalls have opened. They're off and racing, and Showcase will find herself back there last of all when they get going. And Maginica fired out quickly, and so did War God. Driving forward, Not a Mocker outside of the grey. Special Delivery, Mrs. Brown's Boy. Money Maher back behind those. Settled worse than midfield with Politics, and last of all is Showcase. At the 1100, and as they come down the riverside of the course, Maginica took up the role of pacemaker for As a Party, and led by 2.5 lengths, Not a Mocker. War God down on the inside is running third. Mrs. Brown's Boy going forward next of all with Special Delivery. Then Politics trying to squeeze up underneath of the grey. Patiently handled back there. Money Maher about 5 or 6 lengths off the leader, and 1.5 lengths to Showcase. 650 left to go, and it's Maginica that bowls along in front, leading by more than 3. On the inside, War God moved to second from Not a Mocker. Mrs. Brown's Boy 3 deep, being followed by Money Maher off around them, 4 wide coming into the corner, now being asked to go by Noski. Then Politics losing ground. Special Delivery and Showcase into the straight now. 300 from home. Maginica. It's the baldy faced galloper in front. Look at Money Maher. He's starting to take ground off it very quickly, and Noski shows him the persuader. Further back is Showcase running on. Money Maher reached the lead with 100 to go from Maginica. Showcase runs on now, but it's Money Maher in a wonderful return to racing. Money Maher comes away and scores at his first outing in almost a year, and beats Maginica. Showcase. Mrs. Brown's Boy fourth home from Special Delivery. Politics, War God, and dropping out to run last is Not a Mocker. Number 4, the winner, Money Maher, ridden by Jared Noski. Great to see him back there this afternoon. Classy 4-year-old, now a gelding, and has had his issues over the last 12 months, but he returns in emphatic fashion. Number 4. Putting them away, patient ride, took off, gathered up Maginica effortlessly. Showcase tried to trail, but was only left there whacking away in third. Money. Mrs. Brown's Boy a well-beaten fourth. All honours with Money Maher in a fabulous return to racing for R. Viney and A. Price, Mrs. C. Price, Mrs. D.K. Price and Mrs. C.V. Price, G. Smith, S. Norsworthy, A. Duffy, L.J. Rowan, D.J. Gilbert, along with Mrs. D.J. Greaves, D. Emerson, K. Emanuel, K. Parsons and G. McTaggart. Prepared by the brothers Pierce and ridden by Jared Noski. Second placing going the way of Maginica. Number 2 by Ismer from Betterbon, Ash Maley, Chloe As a Party, and 8 weighs in third. Showcase by Big Brown from Test Case, Adam Durant and Brody Kirby. 124.42. They couldn't have asked much more of Money Maher than what he produced at his first run back this afternoon. 2.25 lengths by half the margins. 35.88 is the closing sectional. The Passages Perth Handicap is the next at 225 over 1,200 metres, and in the next of the day there are no alterations. Well, I'm sure there would be a very satisfied rider on the back of Money Maher at the moment. He knows him well. That's Jared Noski. Let's catch up and get his thoughts on how he felt the horse went at his much anticipated return to the racetrack this afternoon. Britt.
Was anticipated, wasn't it, Darren? Jared, congratulations. This must be really satisfying for you to have a horse that we know has so much ability on the comeback trail, and you've had a lot to do with this horse going out once a week to ride him. Were you expecting that today? Yeah, he was pretty forward. Hitting his head and getting scratched last week was a blessing in disguise, I think, because he probably couldn't win against that horse last week, so he got into a good race for him today and he done the job. He's been gelded. Has that changed him in what you've noticed of him? He's definitely trimmed him up a bit, which is a good thing, I think, coming back from injury, and it looks like he's still got the ability there, so it's definitely done no harm. And the blinkers going on? Yeah, just over these shorter trips he probably needs them, and when we get him back out further we'll take him off. He definitely seemed fresh before the race. We could see him cantering around behind the barriers. Do you think that's just such a long layoff? He knew that this what race day was all about again? Oh, that's just what he's like, and it's great to have him back racing again. He's got a lot of character, and yeah, he's one of my favourites. He's just always got that bubbly thing about him, And how do you assess this track today? We obviously had a bit of rainfall this morning. They're definitely getting into it a bit. Even in the prelim, they're kicking up clods. So yeah, by the end of the day, we're gonna know we've been on it. All right. Well done on this win. Cool. Thanks, Brett.
Ben Pearce joins us now. Ben, is that a relief? It's great to see. Like a lot goes into these sort of after injury, 12 months later, but there's a lot in between. So it's great to see him hit the track and come out and do what he did today.
Obviously, he had that leg injury, but you also gelded him in that time that he's had off. Do you think that has just added an extra couple of lengths?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the reason for gelding was with such an extended break, we were worried that he'd get too heavy, and with a leg injury, you want to try and strip as much weight off him as possible. So that was our aim there, and I think it's worked well.
He showed his turn of foot once again today, and I know as a 3-year-old, and you only get one chance to compete in those 3-year-old races, you tested him out to a longer trip in the derbies, but what do you think his best journey is?
We've always been a little bit confused on that, and I mean, yeah, as a 3-year-old, you're sort of trying to stretch him up over the distance, but now as an older horse, it doesn't really matter. If he's winning over the 14 and the mile, he'll stay there, but if there's races there over a further trip, we'll have a go.
What do you do with him this preparation? Is there a grand final in mind, or is it just see how he's going and take it week by week?
Yeah, I mean, first step's getting him back to the track. Second step's pulling up well, so that'll be what we're looking at tomorrow. And if he comes through this well, there's another 1400 for him in 3 weeks, and then the couple of stakes races there. I think it's the Hyperion and the Strickland. They were the aims that we had this time in. But yeah, it's all subject to him handling it well and pulling up well.
Well, it's exciting to see a good galloper back at the races, and it's been one hell of a training performance by yourself and your brother. Well done.
Thanks.
There we go, there's Benny Pearce, of course, trains in partnership with his brother Dan, and Too Strong, Money Meher. Marjanika was brave as always, and Showcase hit the line strongly back in third. That's race 3. We'll be back before the 4th and have a look at these horses in the yard.